Hey, everybody, this is Joseph Pesek, and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to the Sports Wrap with broadcasting legends Storm and Norm Rumack and Ange. First of all, Norm, how was your weekend?
Oh, it's magnificent, Joe. Just watch football and relax, and that was it.
Ange, how was
Same,
your weekend?
same.
Wait a minute, hold on. You can't be the same as Norm.
Yeah, I
Norm,
watched a lot of football, watched some basketball, and just kind of chilled and hung out. It's a nice, weekend of calmness after all the chaos of the holidays. So it was nice.
all right. So let's start off with the National Football League, and let's start off with I got a little bit of a headache here and all that. So the Buffalo Bills going to Jacksonville, Florida, my second state there. I'm the president of the province of Canada. I may move Canada to Florida and Quebec to Syracuse, New York. Norm, you like that, eh? Anyways, the Buffalo Bills go into Jacksonville, and Buffalo Bills have Josh Allen, better known as Superman, better known as the brother of the president of the provinces of Canada, better known as a guy who wears everything. Jacksonville has a guy named Trevor Lawrence. First of all, Norm, tell this guy it is 2026. You're supposed to cut your hair. Nobody has long hair here. Who does he think he is? Come on. It's not 1986. It's 2026. Third of all here, Jacksonville has a game at home. They were great this year.
The sun was shining. There were no issues weather-wise. It would look like
no rain. It's always raining in Florida and everything like that. No raining in Florida. And everybody's saying, first of all, Buffalo starts off with a point and a half point favorite. And at the end of the week, Jacksonville's a point and a half favorite. Losers! Las Vegas is losers. Losers. In fact, Norm, you're going to like this one. I bet on the Buffalo Bills. That means I won money, Norm, because I'm in a great mood and I must be, I'm a little bit dizzy. I'm going to give you some money this week. Go and buy Buffalo Bills underwear. Next week, I want you to buy Buffalo Bills underwear, and I want you to wear a Buffalo Bills sweater and everything like that with the money I'm providing, and it's going to be more than $2. Anyways, Buffalo beating Jacksonville, coming, and I don't even know how Buffalo does this. They got Josh Allen, and it doesn't matter who else they have. They lose Coleman, they lose all these guys, and they still win. Jacksonville running and winning the game and winning. But when you have Josh Allen, you need two plays downfield. I got to say this. Brandon Cooks, what a reception. Josh Allen throwing 45 yards on one leg. Bang, bang, boom. Buffalo advances in the playoffs. Norm, first of all, what did you think of the Buffalo Bills' first road playoff victory with Josh Allen, and first road playoff victory since 1992 when you were 35?
Actually, I wasn't 35, but that's okay.
Who cares how old you are? Let's go down.
So why did you mention it?
Because I want to. This is a way to get you fired up. Some people
No.
say that Norm's never fired up. How come you're on the Fired Up Network? You got
me
fired up, Norm.
Yeah, well, don't worry about whether I'm fired up. Just pay attention to what I say, and you don't have to worry about whether I'm fired up or not.
Before you said nothing.
Well, stop yelling. Try whispering.
Okay, I'm whispering to you now. What is your opinion on the Buffalo Bills' biggest victory?
It was a great game, very exciting, and credit to Jacksonville. They put up a good fight. And Trevor Lawrence, he had 2 picks, unfortunately, but they've got a bright future ahead of them. And there was 4 or 5 lead changes. So it was a very entertaining game. And I thought Jacksonville put up a good fight against Buffalo. Buffalo has the MVP in Josh Allen. There's no question about it. So we'll see how they do. Now they got to go to Denver, which is a whole other kettle of fish.
Well, I
So,
didn't say that yet because we haven't
Well-
set the other scores, so don't spoil it. You gave congratulations, Norm. You're fired up. You gave more than 2-word answers. That's a very big accomplishment so far. Like if your pass rating is 60% right now. So let's see the other
Right.
questions if you continue with 60%. So any last thoughts on the Buffalo Bills' biggest victory this season?
No, not really. I mean, they were expected to win, and I think it was a closer game than what people thought it would be.
No, I didn't think it was closer. I thought Buffalo was going to win by 3 or 4 points, and Buffalo was favored, but they were underdogs. So this is a surprise, Norm. It's not as expected because you're working for 30 years with a guy who loves Buffalo.
They were underdogs as a bunch of horse punk. Who said they were underdogs? Some genius.
I told you, Vegas losers.
So who cares what Vegas? Vegas Schmegas.
You care about
Vegas Schmegas.
I made.
Vegas Schmegas. Nobody cares what Vegas says.
Norm, if you bet $100, you make $1,000 for Maple Leafs not to win the Stanley Cup. You give me $100.
All right. I don't go by Vegas says. I go by what I say.
You are in denial. The Maple Leafs you're saying are going to win the Stanley Cup.
I never said that. No, they're not going to win the Stanley Cup.
$100,000. Give me $100. I'll make it $1,000. Maple Leafs not winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, right. Anything else you got, Joe?
Yeah, I got a lot. All right, you're taking on a lot of time here. I'm used to your 2-word answers. Now give the ball to Angie. Hand off.
Right,
Hand off, Norm.
Josh Allen led the Bills to win as we said, their first NFL road playoff game. That future baby that's on the way is already super iconic, especially with this play and these plays that Josh Allen keeps continuing to happen, but also that stunning, beautiful mama, Joe, I know you love Haley Steinfeld. She presented at the Golden Globes and she looked absolutely stunning. As Norm said, we're on to face the Broncos, and I think we're going all the way to the Super Bowl.
Norm, do not talk about the Broncos. Wait a minute. She said something here. Since you're the fashionista of the Fired Up and Femme Network, the Golden Globes Awards, give us a recap of the Golden Globe Awards. Norm wants to know because he hasn't watched it. He was eating ice cream and everything like that. What happened at the Golden Globes?
What happened at the Golden Globes?
I saw The Rock and Kevin Hart. That's all I saw.
I didn't watch all of the Golden Globes, but I think, it was a great show, as it usually is. There were a lot of very great awards presented. I think if anyone hasn't watched it, they definitely should. I like to tape these types of shows and watch them on a PVR, just because then I can fast forward through all the commercials. There's nothing worse than, getting left on a high there thinking, oh, who's going to win? And then commercial break for like 5 minutes. So, but we're talking sports. Let's talk more sports.
All right, let's talk about the second game. We'll start off backwards. Second game on Sunday, and like I predicted, everybody and Drew Ebeck said the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions will run all over the San Francisco 49ers. I said San Fran's going to win, and not only are going to win, they're going to show how overrated Jalen Hurts is.
Oh, wait. Before we talk about the second game, I wanted to ask you guys, because in the Bills game, what happened with that touchdown that they took back?
What touchdown that they took
At the end, they had the touchdown, and then they reversed it.
No, they had the touchdown, and then they said he didn't cross the line. And then by the way, Josh Allen has the nicest tush. What a tush push for 25 yards. That reminds me back in 1972 when people refused to touch Norm's tush and they want to push him across the goal line, and he just stumbled. Norm, what do you think? That's what happened, actually. All joking aside, he scored. He didn't score. He was down. His leg was down at the 1.5 yard line.
Before the line.
Yes. And then they came back, and Josh Allen, they just gave him the touchdown there because the time for Jacksonville just said, okay, we're gonna let him go in and all that. So
they said let the better team win.
Exactly. Now, am I going to be interrupted? No. Norm's anxiously waiting to see how he puts me over when I said San Fran is going to crush this Drew Ebanks team on point. By the way, check out onpointbasketball.com. See how, he's deflated, even though the Raptors beat Philly. Philly, for him, he loves the Philadelphia Eagles. He's very disappointed. But then the Raptors beat Philly in overtime, so he was okay with it. And Norm, what did you think of San Fran defeating the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, it was a great game to watch.
This is even less than your 4-word answers. Can you elaborate on it?
Well, San Fran was a deserving winner. They outplayed Philadelphia. They deserved the win. And even with Kittles going down with a torn Achilles, they still managed, although that was late in the game. So, but yeah, congratulations, San Francisco. I think most people expected Philadelphia to win as the reigning Super Bowl champions. And it was a fun game to watch.
And a much higher scoring game, I thought, than it was going to be.
Now, all I have to say is my good close personal friend who wants to turn into a wrestler, George Kittle, speedy recovery, zero miedo, George Kittle. But that was a surprise. A lot of people are surprised. San Fran beating Philly, going into Philly, the reigning defending Super Bowl champions are done. Norm, do you know what that means? Kansas City, last year's Super Bowl team, is out of the playoffs, and the Super Bowl winners are out of Super Bowl. They can't win the Super Bowl. So I don't know if I'm breaking news here. Type of breaking news here. There's going to be a new Super Bowl champion, new Super Bowl participants this year, by the way, in Santa Clara, California, just San Francisco 49ers Stadium on somebody's birthday, February 8th. Norm, you get the cake ready? You get the presents ready? Do you have something ready? Give me more than 4 words.
Yeah, I'm buying you French fries and ice cream. There's 4 words.
By the way, Norm, I'm inviting, and as you know, I got a 75-inch new TV, new sound system, and all that. I'm inviting you to my place for my birthday and also for the Super Bowl party. I'm inviting Ange to the Super Bowl party. She's taking care of all the food and all that. And Ange, listen, I am the president of the province of Canada. On behalf of me, I'll invite your husband, who's, by the way, Norm, Joe. I put Joe sitting beside Norm there. You're going to be in a corner with Angie's husband, and you're going to sit in the corner, all right? You're going to talk about what does Joe like, Ange?
I mean, he likes a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he likes everything, Norm. You could talk stock markets. You could, and Joe graduated from Notre Dame, so you could talk Notre Dame and Syracuse. How he hates it. Never mind. All right.
Oh, speaking of Syracuse, actually, did anybody catch any of the college basketball? If you didn't, I posted it on my @SheDoesWellness TikTok. William Kyle slammed the home dunk of the season for Syracuse yesterday. So if nobody watched that, please go back and do it because it
Norm,
was
did you watch
amazing.
No, I was watching the football, Joe.
You did not watch what's William Kyle slam dunking the ball, and you're a Syracuse alum?
No, I was watching the football so I could talk on the Fired Up Network, Joe.
Yeah, I'm going to, but you don't say anything anyways. So, look, I'm going to take some oranges away from you. You like apples now. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Maybe you should have 2. That's why my head hurts. Now, Ange, do you have any other comments about the 49ers?
No, just that I did not think they were going to make it.
All right.
They're the hosting city. So, I mean, let's see what happens.
Let's get to the third game on Sunday. It's Sunday night. The LA Chargers and New England Patriots. Justin Herbert. Well, why is he a quarterback in the National Football League? Justin Herbert 0-2 now in the playoffs. And Norm could have been a better quarterback last night than Justin Herbert. Like, what is this? Going down first of all, they started the game right. They're picking him off, and then they get 0 points. All right? New England, 16. The Chargers, 3. Goodbye, Chargers. Bye-bye. Again, the second round now. Second round in the AFC playoffs. There's still a game tonight, Monday night. Wild card weekend closes off with Houston at Pittsburgh. I know we did 2 previews, but Norm, I'm going to ask you. Let's talk about Sunday night's game and then a small preview of Monday night's game. Go ahead, Norm. What did you think of New England and the Chargers? Justin Herbert really not up to snuff, put it that way. So Trevor Lawrence.
Well, it's hard to be up to snuff when you're getting sacked all the time and beat up, Joe.
Well, what's
Got no
wrong with the
protection.
offensive line of the Chargers?
What's that?
What's wrong with the offensive line? They have one job.
Well, that's not Justin Herbert, is it?
Well, this is why the Chargers got up against this new offensive lineman, about 3 of them.
Yeah, so I'm saying the problem isn't the quarterback.
It is the quarterback. If you're
No, he's got no protection, Joe.
I mean, there was no Buffalo.
He's got no protection. He's got no protection. He's got no protection.
2 offensive linemen were down for the Buffalo Bills. Did the Buffalo Bills win or lose?
What's that got to do with Justin Herbert? He's got no protection.
Because Justin Herbert does not compare to God in Josh Allen.
Yeah,
that's
God.
why when you have Josh Allen, you don't need nothing else.
You better hope your Bills get past the Denver Broncos first before you anoint them.
If they lose, Norm's not on this week. Ange. Norm's not on this week. If the Bills lose, I blame the loss on him. I blame the loss on him if the Bills lose. All right.
Listen, defense wins playoff games. One mistake, season is over for any of these teams now going forward. That quarterback has to be quick on their feet. They've got to make those decisions under severe pressure and do it when it matters most. And I think Josh Allen definitely does that, and he will continue to do that and lead this team all the way to the Super Bowl.
Norm, you're giving me a headache already. I'm becoming very dizzy. All right. So, Norm, let's start a small preview of tonight's Houston at Pittsburgh game. Aaron Rodgers and C.J. Stroud. They're 8:15. Go ahead. The winner of this game will play New England.
Yeah, well, it's a quarterback-driven league. Aaron Rodgers is a great all-time quarterback. He's the better quarterback in that matchup. And he'll lead Pittsburgh to a victory.
All right. He says Pittsburgh will win. Angie, quickly, what do you think of tonight's game?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like 50-50 on this one. I think it could definitely go either way. It could go to the Texans or it could go to the Steelers.
Pick one. Don't give me 50-50. That's worse than Norm. Come on.
All right. I'm going to say Texans.
Why? I need to know why. I don't care who you say.
All right, I'll give it to you. Fine. They are entering on a 9-game winning streak. They've got strong defense. While, Pittsburgh definitely clinched the AFC North title, they do also get the home playoff game, but I'm going to say Houston.
All right, she says Houston. All right, let's get back to Saturday, and then we'll do other sports here.
Oh, wait, did we even mention that their Texans quarterback also didn't travel recently because of the birth of his child? So, I mean, it's something to definitely monitor as we get closer to kickoff because is he going to play? Is he not going to play? It's going to make a difference.
I'm telling you right now, he's playing. That's number one. C.J. Stroud is going to play.
Then we're good. Then I stick with my choice.
He's going to play. All right. So let's get to Saturday here. Norm, you'll start us off. The Chicago Bears. The Bears. Big victory over the Green Bay Packers. If you're Green Bay, if you're Jordan Love.
What happened? They had the lead and they lost. That is the last time I picked the Packers for my father-in-law.
You ate too much cheese. That's what happened. All right, Norm, what do you
So did they, obviously.
Yeah, it was an amazing comeback. It was an amazing comeback.
It wasn't an amazing comeback. It was a comeback. What made it so amazing?
Well, what made it so amazing? What do you think made it so amazing?
No, it was a comeback. It's not an amazing comeback. If they were down 21-0, it would be more, but they were losing only 21-3.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing comeback and one of the biggest, I'm sure, in NFL history.
You keep saying amazing. What was amazing about it?
Well, you tell me, Joe.
No, you're the word. You use the word amazing.
21-3. 21-3.
Yeah, and then in fourth quarter they were down 21-9. Still 11 points in the fourth or 12 points in the fourth quarter. And look.
Yeah, if it was the Buffalo Bills who made a comeback like that, you'd be saying it was the greatest in the history of the human race.
Nothing would beat at Ralph Wilson Stadium 35-3 against the Houston Oilers. That was an amazing comeback. That
All
was
right.
amazing comeback. See, Norm, this is why the difference between a comeback and an amazing comeback. I know you're a little bit older, but I have to teach you the proper verbiage. All right? There you go. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, 4 words. Thank you. Angie, go ahead.
Not much to say here. I mean, division pride is definitely on the line. Riker records aside, I think this matchup definitely will bring, that playoff level of intensity as all these games will going forward. I mean, we'll see what happens. I think the Bears played a great game. They deserved that win. They came back and they're probably going to do it again.
All right, so let's get to the first game of the weekend. This was surprising. We'll start off with Ange. Carolina showing up and really had the game in hand, but another great quarterback, Matthew Stafford, really saving the Rams there with Puka. Great game for the Rams. And you know what I'm going to say? Great game for Carolina. As was nice to see Cam Newton's, Norm's favorite quarterback, come and bang the drums there and everything like that. But Ange, what did you think of game 1?
I mean, again, these are all great games. They've, made it this far. They've been very good games. I think, Carolina is playing a little loose, but at the same time, I mean, they've all got nothing to lose at this point. So I think, the pressure's on for the quarterbacks for sure. I think the Rams are definitely looking to disrupt early and often and get that score high from the beginning so that there is no chance of coming back. I mean, I said the Rams. I want to see the Rams and the Bills in the finals. So I'm going to choose the Rams.
All right, Norm, what did you think of game 1 on Saturday?
Yeah, well, my pick for the Super Bowl, as Ange just iterated, was the Rams and the Bills. So I fully expected the Rams to win. And they're a great team. They really haven't got too many weaknesses. So I'm not surprised. Carolina's a good team. They're a feisty team. They put up a good fight. But the Rams are the better team with a great quarterback, and that's who usually wins.
So that leads us a small preview here to round 2. Rams and Bears. Norm, like he said, he picks the Rams. So you expect the Rams to beat the Bears, right?
That's exactly right.
And how close of a game do you think?
I'll pick the Rams by a touchdown.
But not by 3 points, right?
No, not by 3 points.
Not by 3 points. All right. So you got the Rams there, and then you got San Fran traveling to Seattle. Seattle, the number 1 seed. Who do you think they're, Norm?
I pick Seattle by 10.
Seattle by 10. You're going to be wrong. And now in the AFC, Norm, and then I'll go to Ange. AFC, we know 1 game so far. It's Buffalo and Denver in Denver. Denver's the number 1 seed. You picked Buffalo in the Super Bowl February 8th, by the way, Norm. So you're picking Buffalo to beat Denver by how many?
By a field goal.
Of course, no, by 3. All right. And then let's say it's, Pittsburgh and New England. Who do you got there? Pittsburgh and New England. Who do you like there?
Well, that's going to be a tough one. Pittsburgh and New England. I like New England by a field goal.
Okay. Or Houston and New England.
Houston, New England. I'll take New England by 7.
So you're going to go with New England there. All right, New England, Buffalo. So what you're saying, it's going to be AFC East against the NFC West, in the NFC and in the AFC East with Buffalo, New England. All right, Ange, first of all, what did you think of, or we talked about the first game, right? Rams. So let's go with the Rams and the Bears in the second round. Who you got? We will do a preview later on this week, but who
I'm going to pick the Rams. I'm going to pick the Rams. I want to see the Rams in the final. I want to see them play the Bills in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to pick the Rams, but the Bears will definitely put up a good fight, especially if they play the way that they just defeated the Packers.
And Seattle, San Fran, you're going
Seattle. I'm going to say Seattle. I didn't think San Fran was even going to still be in it, so I'm going to stick with Seattle.
All right, and Buffalo, Denver, you picked
Buffalo, obviously.
And then the other one, Pittsburgh, New England. Who you got?
Ooh, that's going to be a really good game, a really tough one, but I'm going to pick New England.
All right, and then
Not confidently, though.
New England and Houston if Houston wins.
Ooh, Houston.
All right. So, Norm, did we touch on everything in the NFL?
Yeah, I can't think of anything we left out.
All right. And Ange, anything else you want to say in the NFL?
Go Buffalo.
Okay, go. What do you
Well,
want to
that's it.
say?
No, I just want to say go Buffalo.
I'll go Buffalo. Okay. Packers are expected to keep LaFleur on a new deal there also. And of course, Drake May looking great for New England also. And a lot of rumors going around that Philadelphia may fire the coach. Right now,
That seems to be the going thing right now, eh?
yeah, well, and like Norm said, George Kittle did suffer an Achilles injury. He's gone.
Yeah, they wheeled him off.
Yeah, so that could be, and McCaffrey was good also there. So good stories for the second round of the playoffs. Now, Norm, Ange wanted to talk about basketball, so we're going to go to Ange here. The Raptors, the Philadelphia 76ers overtime thrilling game. These two teams meet up again tonight at the Scotiabank Arena. So they play Sunday at the Scotiabank Arena and Monday at the Scotiabank Arena. Today,
same place, same time, same team.
No. Hold on. Tonight is history. You know why, Norm? It is potentially the last game of Kyle Lowry ever at the Scotiabank Arena. So I'm going to go first to Norm because Norm's a little bit older and all that. And if I have to ask him, give me your favorite memory of Kyle Lowry and the number 7 jersey for the Toronto Raptors. When he first started off, it was number 3 jersey. Now it's number 7 jersey. Is he number 1 in your heart, Norm?
No, I go back to the old Raptors. No disrespect to Kyle Lowry, but I would go back to not because they were champions, but I just I knew those guys, the original Raptors. So you and I are friends with people like Tracy Murray. So is Kyle Lowry
Tracy Murray correctly announce him like that?
Is Kyle Lowry an all-time Raptor great and an all-time hero? Yes, he is. But you're asking personally for me, and personally for me, I got to know some of the Raptor players, so I put my friendship with them ahead of that. But it was Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry right up there with for Raptor fans with the likes of Vince Carter for many, maybe not all.
Hold on.
Yeah, till he left.
Jean Tabac wants to know who's Norm's all-time favorite Raptor.
Well, it'd be Tracy Murray.
Because of Joe. All right. So you did not watch the game. I'm not going to ask you about the game, but Ange, I'll ask you, who's your favorite all-time Raptor, and what did you think of last night's game?
I have a lot of favorite all-time rappers, also rappers.
Okay, who's your favorite all-time rapper?
Actually, I'm going to get so much backlash for this, but I am a fan of Kanye West, old Kanye, graduation Kanye. Yep, college dropout Kanye, like old Kanye. But I like a lot of different rappers for sure. I mean, Drake, our homegrown, boy, got to represent him. But speaking of Kyle Lowry, speaking of Raptors, I did just read breaking news that Kyle Lowry is apparently committed to signing even a one-day contract to be able to retire with the Raptors. I don't know what that means, what that looks like.
Well, I have bigger breaking news. Me and Norm already could tell you this for 3 years already.
Okay.
It's the second person to get his jersey up in the Raptors will be Kyle Lowry. Vince Carter number 1, Kyle Lowry number 2. That will happen. They're even going to have a statue. They wanted Norm to actually model for Kyle Lowry the statue, and Norm, I don't know, is negotiating for a deal there and all that. But here it is. Here, you want a breaking news? I'll give you breaking news. Another Raptor great, DeMar DeRozan, and rumored to be possibly moving by the trade deadline, which is in about a month's time, reaches 26,000 career points in a Sacramento Kings victory over the Rockets yesterday. 26,000. That's 26,000 more than Norm has, but 26,000 career points in the National Basketball
Good for him.
Association.
I'm happy for him. We've talked about it before. I'd love to see him come back. I think that would be great. But, back to Kyle Lowry. Did anyone catch him in the Matthews jersey? That is a
Yeah,
true
coming
class
in.
act. He literally said, and I quote, "I respect the hell out of him." And you know what, Kyle Lowry? We respect the hell out of you.
Hold
So,
on. I have issues to say this. Everybody comes into games like game 7 of the Blue Jays. It was Vlad Guerrero coming in with a Matthews jersey. Now
yeah.
I'm gonna ask in case Norm doesn't remember. Ange, can you tell what happened in game 7 of the Blue Jays Dodgers World Series game?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, so that means the Blue Jays lost. Now, Kyle Lowry comes in with an Austin Matthews jersey. That is great news for the Raptors because what did Philadelphia
That's true.
76ers do?
They
They lost
lost.
also. All right, they're losers, but watch them win tonight. But anyways, okay, there you go. And now an interesting thing here. Of course, we talked about this last show, Ange, but Norm, LeBron James, his career is, I don't have to say amazing, okay? 23 years. He has always started an all-star game. This year, he's not scheduled to start an all-star game. Does that bother you since the game is in Los Angeles?
Does it bother me? No, it doesn't bother me.
Is there, and right now he's going to be voted, but do you think he should be an all-star this season, Norm?
Well, it's a vote of fans, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what it's going to come down to. Yeah.
But you're a fan of the NBA, right? Would you vote him in?
Yeah, I'd probably vote him in just based on his history. But fans pay the money to watch the games and to be at the games. So let the fans have their say. Nothing wrong with that.
I think he's an all-star no matter what. So.
And is there anything else you want to talk in NBA? Because I got to talk about a couple other stuff before we close it down here.
No, just that the Raptors, they had two games ago they played Boston. They almost caught up late in the fourth quarter. Celtics just went on a run. Raptors couldn't catch up, but last night's game was, another close one. Scotty Barnes calmly sank the game-winning free throw with less than a second left, secured the victory, went into overtime, all those fun things. I think though, please Raptors, stop giving us all of these nail biter, super close games. I don't know if my heart can handle it. I don't know if anyone caught the reference that the commentators mentioned yesterday, because I think they're probably feeling the same feels that I have. They made a reference back to a classic sitcom called Sanford and Sons, and it's the whole famous fake heart attack gig. So please, Raptors, let's just continue to crush it. I'll take the wins whenever we've got them, but not so close for comfort, please.
All right, we're going to talk about Norm's favorite subject, the Toronto Maple Leafs and hockey here. But Maple Leafs have been doing very well since coming back here. But this is the next, I would say, 10 days are going to do something for the Maple Leafs. We're going to find out if they are really changed everything or really, they need improvement. Put it that way. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the games coming up for the Maple Leafs tonight, being Monday night. They start a road trip, Norm, against the best team in the league who has only lost 4 games overall. It is the Maple Leafs into Colorado. I'm not going to ask you who's going to win yet. So tonight, 10 p.m. in Colorado. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. in Utah. All right? Then the Maple Leafs are in Mitch Marner's place, Vegas, on Thursday. Okay? Colorado, Utah, Vegas. Pretty, Colorado best team, Vegas up there, Utah a little bit. Okay. Then Saturday, they're back in Canada, in Winnipeg. All right. Then Monday, they come to Scotiabank Arena to take on Minnesota. Very good team. All right. Then Wednesday, they take on, right now, first place in the Atlantic Division, Detroit at the Scotiabank Arena. Then Vegas comes here, Mitch Marner, to take on his former team. And then on Sunday, by the way, a Sunday, January 26th game is at 1:30 at the Scotiabank Arena against who? The best team in the league, Colorado. All right? Then they take on the hottest team in the league, the Buffalo Sabres. Okay? And then the Leafs are back in the West Coast, taking on Seattle on the 29th.
Joe, you're going to go through every game on the schedule till May or what?
4 games left.
Holy smokes.
In Vancouver. And then they close out, I guess, the unofficial first half of the season because they have the Olympic in Calgary and in Edmonton on February 3rd. This 2-week span is going to tell you if the Leafs are contenders or pretenders. Contender or pretenders, because in a week they play 2 times the best team in the league. Norm, what do you think of this schedule? And are the Leafs coming, February 3rd, 4th? Are they contenders or pretenders? If they are pretenders, are they going to make shocking trades?
Are they going to make what?
Shocking trades. And you know who I'm talking about.
They're not going to make. They're not trading Austin Matthews if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm not saying about Austin Matthews. About
who are you talking about?
Mitch. The other guy is Max Domi.
The other guy. Well, that wouldn't be shocking.
Yes, it would. According to Ty Domi, it would.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it wouldn't be shocking to me. I'm not saying he's not a good Maple Leaf. He is, but it's not on the same level as Austin Matthews.
All right, getting back.
Anyway, in terms of their performance, I expect them to be around 500 to split their series of games.
Yeah, what a tough schedule. Like honestly, I know you so many games, but you go to the West Coast, then you come back here for 1 game and go back to the West Coast. Like, what kind of schedule is that? Anyways, Ange, what do you think?
Yeah, the Leafs have a very busy stretch of games, especially over the next, I'd say, like 2 to 3 weeks, including really tough divisional matchups, especially in the Atlantic. They've got some key battles in there against playoff contending teams. So that will definitely define their strength, I think, going forward. Every game now is definitely a chance for them to lock down a playoff positioning. Can they do it? I think they definitely need to take advantage when they're at least on home ice, at least in the first round. They need much more, I think, stronger goaltending, obviously, and just better, more balanced scoring, I would say. Top stars like Matthews and Marner, they definitely need that additional support from those depth lines. I think, discipline and composure will keep them. They need to avoid any unnecessary penalties or anything that can kind of just get in their heads and like throw them off their game, no pun intended. They got to close those games strong. They got to get a good lead ahead of time, ahead of the third period, and then obviously hopefully not go into overtime, which seems to be like all Toronto sports teams' kryptonite. I think just overall it's going to be tough, and divisional wins will definitely matter, especially as they go down this next stretch.
As Ange mentioned, in 3 weeks, the Olympics in Italy start, and Norm has been.
Is the ice ready yet? That is the question.
What I want to say. Norm has been called because he cracked a hole in the ice there. There's no dressing rooms. There's no nothing, and we're about 2.5 weeks away. Do you think there could be a postponement or cancellation of players going at this late stage, Norm? Or do you think
no,
they're going to get it done?
They'll get it done.
They have no choice. They have to. They'll pull in the overtime. Like, they do not have a choice.
And Norm, are you excited for Olympic hockey?
Yeah, it should be great hockey.
Don't be excitement. Be fired up at least. Don't be half. Oh yeah, okay, or whatever. Come on.
You want me to yell and scream, Joe?
Yes.
So you can't even hear me?
Yes, because that,
Joe, you know what? When you talk quiet, people listen harder.
No, but listen.
When you yell and scream, people turn down the volume.
The guy who said Hammerhead alert, Hammerhead alert, and you didn't
That's
give
right.
a Hammerhead shirt even. Now, Norm, take away Canada and America. Who's the main contender in Olympics for
Sweden?
Sorry?
I said Sweden.
Sweden. Okay. Now, Norm, I'm going to do something that we never do because you don't like talking about this, but because Ange is on here, how about ladies hockey? Canada, America, and who?
Well, there's Canada and America, and then there's a huge drop off.
Well,
It's
pick number
basically
3.
Canada and America. The parity hasn't grown with other countries the way it has with Canada and America. Canada and America is the top rivalry in women's hockey. It's a great rivalry. It's right up there with any great rivalry. But the rest of the world in women's hockey hasn't caught up to the United States and Canada. So that's the main rivalry. That's the main game people want to watch.
Jessica received a text, Norm, from Digit Murphy, good friend of Jolt and Joanne, yours, and asked Norm if he wants to place a bet on the Olympic hockey between American and Canada ladies. I'll bet $100 American that USA will defeat Canada this year. Norm, does he want to place a bet, and what is the bet?
No, I'm not placing any bets. I got to keep my money.
Norm, you cheapskate. Come on.
Yeah.
Put it up on Angie. She'll control fired up money. Come on. Do
Yeah.
it. If Digit Murphy is calling you out, you better provide a bet for her.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll bet on Canada. How's that?
All right. What are you going to bet?
100 Monopoly dollars.
All right, Digit Murphy. Yeah, I know you're. I'll take the 100 American, but Norm will bet 100 Monopoly dollars, which in Canada means like equivalent to U.S. dollars. Put it that way. All right. Now, Ange, are you more excited for men's Olympic hockey or women's Olympic hockey?
I am excited for all Olympics, but I am definitely looking more forward to women's Olympic hockey. I think for whatever reason in the Olympics, women's sports do seem to get a lot more exposure, and they should overall as a whole. Like we talked about it before, with like the Toronto Tempo coming now and much more, I think, eyes on women's sports, but I'm definitely looking more forward to that in the Olympics.
All right. So we'll close it out. We talked about hockey. We talked about basketball. We talked about football. Let's close it out with a little bit of baseball talk. I'm going to start off with Norm. Last week, 2 weeks ago, when we did this, the Blue Jays were after everybody. Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette, Norm Rumack, Dave Rumack, Joseph Pasek, Betty Hill, everybody. Now, 2 weeks later, do they have Bo Bichette, Norm?
No.
Well, it looks like Bo Bichette is going to go to Philly. All right. Do they have Kyle Tucker?
Not that I'm aware of.
Jose Barrios is probably going to get traded to the Atlanta Braves. Breaking news. All right. So, no, and Bassett's not probably going to be here. The only guy that may be here is Max Scherzer, but he'll sign probably in August because, he can't go through an 8-month, spring training and regular season and all that. So, but the latest news on Kyle Tucker, it's still Blue Jays are still favored. $400 million. Looks like Bo Bichette today's meeting with the Philadelphia Phillies. He wants $300 million. My sneaky suspicion is that Boston, who lost Bregman, there could be in there. The Yankees could be in there. Dodgers could be in there. I don't understand the Dodgers, who have Angie money, like billions and billions of dollars. If they want somebody, just pick him up. What's the problem? Does anybody want Bo Bichette? Watch him be signed in the next 5 minutes. But, Ange, what do you think? Who is a bigger loss? Blue Jays did a lot of stuff, but who is a bigger loss? Kyle Tucker, who all offseason they talked about, what a surprise. Blue Jays going to sign him, or Bo Bichette? And what do you think of $300 million to Bo Bichette? The only guy who wants $300 million and more is Norm, right?
I mean, you know what? Bo Bichette was pretty tough on what he wanted. And, I would have, again, I've said it many times, but I would have loved to see that entire Jays team from last season stick together, pull through, and make it all the way and then win. But that didn't happen. So, I mean, we'll see what happens as these things continue to unfold. Remind me of the trade deadline for
There's
MLB?
no trade deadline. It's free agency. You could sign if you wanted to sign in September. You can.
All right. So then we'll just have to keep seeing what's happening.
Norm, what do you think? Do you think that they're going to sign one of them?
Yeah, I think they'll sign one.
And which one?
Well, I don't know, Joe, because I don't know how close Bichette is to signing in Philadelphia. I've been hearing that for 3 weeks already, and he still hasn't signed.
We've been hearing
So,
about Kyle Tucker to Toronto and for a month and a half.
yeah, so I don't know. I'm giving you an honest answer.
All right. By the way, Ange, who has season tickets to the TFC, will not never takes Norm. Toronto FC submitted an $18 million bid for Norwich, U.S. men's national team striker Sargent. And we close off the show here, Norm, talking about your Chelsea Blues. So go ahead. Let's talk about your Chelsea Blues. You got 3 words.
Well, they got a new coach. They got off to a good start with a 5-1 win against Charlton Athletic in the FA Cup, 3rd round. And we'll see. Tonight they announced who they play next, so we'll see what happens. But the new coach is off to a good start. Well, it's against a lower division team, but they got the win. That's the main thing. They got 5 goals from different players, so he's off to a good start. Let's see what happens now.
And Messi prefers club ownership over coaching after retirement. There, and don't forget, last year, Inter Miami came to Toronto in October. They're coming here a day before Norm's birthday. I say that, Ange, because it's Norm's birthday, and May 9th, Miami comes to Toronto, and you are for a date with Norm. That's what Norm says. Ask Ange if she's going to take me to TFC to watch Miami. And we can go maybe with Joe, 2 legends in action, Messi and Joe. But if you go to TFC with Norm, prepare like a bib or whatever, because this guy doesn't stop eating, man. I'm like, unbelievable.
He's
Norm,
a haggler, isn't he? Is that where he gets fired up? That's where Norm gets fired up at sporting events.
He doesn't get fired up. He doesn't. He can't talk because he's full with meat and everything in his mouth. Right, Norm?
No, I definitely, Angie's right. I get fired up for a nice pregame meal.
Love it.
All right. So there goes. Okay, and Norm, we'll start off with you. Any last comments here on the sports wrap up, and then tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Yeah. Well, you get hold of me right here on the Fired Up Network 2-3 times a week with Joe and with Ange. And it's a great twosome to be on the air with. And we have a lot of fun, as you can tell. Do a lot of trash talking and a little bit of yelling and screaming.
What?
Joe does the screaming.
Yeah. Joe's a screamer.
Hold on. We have to answer a question. Answer a question. By the way, Norm, your Miller Shoes his birthday was on Friday.
Yeah, I wished him happy birthday, Joe.
Well, I'm doing it live, and millions of people are watching. Relax, Norm. By the way, okay, Norm. By the way, here, okay. Miller Shoes. Anybody who wants to sponsor the Fired Up Network, you could be on potentially over 150 smart TVs with Roku. All you have to do is, you see the QR code in the corner there. Just download it. Download Fired Up Network to your smart TV, your Roku smart TV, and watch Norm with his 3 shirts every week. And we're negotiating. People want to know. Norm says at least 2 to 3 times a week he's on the Fired Up Network. Norm's been pulling it really hard, Ange. He wants to know how much it will take for him to appear 4 times a week on the Fired Up Network. So when I said to him,
it'll take 1 sponsor. If we get 1 sponsor, we'll get Norm on here 4 times a week.
I can't deal 4 times a week with Norm.
I'll do it. I'll take that one on for the team.
All right, Norm, but we have. I gave you your chance to talk about your Chelsea. I got to talk about World of Wrestling. Okay, Norm. I know you were calling me Friday. By the way,
I gotta go, guys. So have a great.
No. You gotta listen to this. You gotta listen to this. Raw tonight, and usually starts at 8:00. Starts at 2:00 because they're in Germany. By the way, Norm was calling me on Friday because Drew McIntyre is your new WWE champion, beating Cody Rhodes. He's the new WWE champion, beating Cody Rhodes. He will hold the title to at least Royal Rumble. By the way, Royal Rumble, January 31st. in Saudi Arabia. Nome will not be contending. All right. So, Ange, close it out. Tell everybody how they can watch us here on the Fired Up Network. And stay tuned for more great programming this week with the complete preview of divisional NFL games. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So we cover all sports, as you can tell. We do also a side of health and wellness on the Fired Up Network. Search Fired Up, all one word, Fired Up Network on all socials and also on all Roku devices.
And by the way, Norm, your friend Julie Hinton Green is on that health and wellness shows with Courtney and Ashal and some lady named, Angie. Any thoughts on that, Norm?
Yeah, well, I've gotten to know Angie. Angie's very bright, very articulate, very nice.
Where is she?
I gotta go, but I wanted to hear Norm talk.
Yeah, so stifle there, Joe. Stifle.
Yeah. All right.
So Angie's very good, and Julie I've known for a long time.
Let her go. I'm trying
She's very articulate. She's very bright. So it's the wellness show is a very good show. I'd encourage everybody to check it out and tune it in.
Did you watch?
Did I watch? I didn't get a chance to watch yet.
How
No,
do you know it's a very good show then if you didn't
because
watch?
I know by the people who are. I know by the people who are on it.
Guys, cut it out.
All right. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the week, and we'll be back here throughout the week. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Angie, you still going to wear purple in your hair?
I know, I gotta change it now, eh? My Baltimore Ravens purple's gotta go. Maybe I'll do Buffalo Bills blue.